Hey juniors, today we're going to start talking about the Revolutionary War. So in the top right hand corner of your notes page, I want you to go ahead and write today's date, which is 8/8/2014. Below it, you can write the objective, which is the First Continental Congress and the battles of Lexington and Concord. As usual, feel free to pause the video at any moment to get the notes that you need. Our essential question for the day is, what is the First Continental Congress and the battles of Lexington and Concord? As usual, the essential question does need to go in your notes page, so feel free to pause the video and get this essential question written down. So let's go ahead and quickly review. Yesterday we talked about the Intolerable Acts, which closed Boston Harbor until the tea was repaid. We know that the colonists were very upset with these acts and that the divide between Britain and the colonies has never been deeper. So what did the colonists do about it? What they did was they gathered what was known as the First Continental Congress. And that was a gathering of colonial leaders who were deeply troubled about the relationship between Great Britain and America. The group was split in their beliefs. Half of them believed that war was unavoidable with Britain, while others looked for peace. As you can see, this first bullet point does need to be copied down in your notes. As you can see, it's bolded and underlined. So the results of the First Continental Congress. They encouraged colonists to continue boycotting British goods, but told the military to await war. They also drafted what was known as the Declaration of Rights that included life, liberty, and property. However, and this is important, they did not seek separation from Britain, but they expressed colonist concern and asked the king to address concerns of taxation without representation. Feel free to pause the video and get this first bullet point and the second bullet point copied down in your notes. So who were the Patriots? A patriot is a colonist who chose to fight for independence from Britain. Patrick Henry, who's this guy here, returned from the First Continental Congress in Virginia and famously said, "Give me liberty or give me death." And he was one of the patriots who believed that war with Britain was unavoidable. So the military started to prepare, and local militia started to stockpile weapons at Lexington and Concord in Connecticut to prepare for battle. General Gage, who we know is the governor of Massachusetts at this time, decides to seize the weapons when he hears about it. The British do not want to go to war with the colonies and are prepared to do whatever it takes to avoid a revolution. So this first bullet point you do need to have copied down in your notes. So, who was Paul Revere? Paul Revere was a local silversmith who served as a spy for the Patriot cause, and he was also a member of the Sons of Liberty. And when he heard that General Gage and the British were coming to seize the weapons stored at Concord, he rode off through the countryside warning residents that the British were coming. Paul Revere's famous ride is one of the biggest moments in the Revolutionary War. However, he did make it to Lexington and Concord and warned the colonists about the British coming before he was captured. So, before we talk about the battles of Lexington and Concord, we're going to watch a little clip on them.
Don't fire on this fire pond. But if you need to have war, let it begin here.
Captain John Parker once fought on the side of the British. A quarter of the men standing at his side are related to him. No one knows who fires the first shot at Lexington. shot heard round the world.
I mean, the redcoats, that's intimidating. The way they move, the way they march, the way they execute on that open space. I imagine on some level for the guy who works the printing press, this is overwhelming, beyond anything you could possibly articulate in words.
Prince Estabrook is hit in the first volley. No army in the world can stand toe-to-toe with the British, let alone a ragtag militia. The British fired up to 4 times the rate of the militia. Within minutes of the first shots fired at Lexington, 8 Patriots are dead, 10 wounded. The American Revolution has begun. The Redcoats reach Concord at 9 in the morning. Acting on a tip-off from colonists loyal to the Crown, they raid the militia's arms stash. But the rebels have got there first, hiding almost everything.
Good. Okay, let's go. Come on.
They continue to search for weapons, giving the Patriots more time to spread the word. The militia gathers just outside the town of Concord. By late morning, more than 1,000 have arrived from the surrounding villages. Their plan: to defend their towns against the British.
Let's go!
The British soldiers left their barracks 15 hours ago. Now, they face a 20-mile march back to Boston.
Okay, that's enough of that. So the big takeaways from the battles of Lexington and Concord are that they were the first official battles of the Revolutionary War. Remember, Britain is looking for the weapon stash that is hidden in Concord, but they never find it. So there's a small battle that takes place in Lexington where about 8 colonists are killed, and the British continue on to Concord. When they don't find weapons, they burn the town of Concord in frustration. Colonists charge forward, firing the shot heard round the world, which signals the beginning of the Revolutionary War. That's going to be it for Intro to New Material today. Thanks for listening, guys.